Hi everybody and welcome to the After Party, the only seasonal championship in this week's festival playlist in Winter Series 5 in Forza Horizon 5. The car restrictions today are expensive. The car has to have a base value of 2 million credits or more and has to be in S2 class. So my car of choice for today is this wonderful Lambo Centenario, painted by PTG Fluix and tuned for you by PTG Predator. And as you can see, the car performs really well from the start. We are up in second, and if I don't mess up this corner, a little bit of contact there, yeah, off we go in the first place. So the S2 class races are usually reasonably difficult, not because AI is any better. AI is actually as bad as it usually is, but because the cars are very fast and therefore harder to control, especially in street racing, because you don't have any barriers on the side, so you can't wall ride your way through the corners and you have to actually drive them through. My advice here is to concentrate on the road, on actually driving. Make sure you're making your corners somewhat reasonable in terms of speed. Don't fly out of the road boundaries, don't drift much, and use your brakes, and everything's going to be fine. If you manage to do that, the AI shouldn't be a huge problem. Obviously the car and tune choice will help you with that. This Centenario is very pleasant to drive. It has enough speed to make an easy work of AI, but is very controllable. It doesn't have any overpower setup that requires you to feather the throttle or anything like that, and also has a really good acceleration and launch, so you can be competitive from the start and don't have to play catch up. With that, we are actually approaching the end of the race 1, and as you can see, AIs are really far behind, and we are good to go to the next race with just over 2 minutes. Yeah, in S2 class the races are much faster, so this is not going to be a very long video. Okay, the second race takes us to Jungle Descent, still at night, well, which is common for street racing, and let's see if it is as easy as the first race was. Off we go from the start, nice and easy. There's a long straight here, so we'll just catching up, but as soon as the bends start we should be overtaken. As you can see, we're passing quite a few cars. Ooh, that sideways kick from AI was a little bit dangerous, but I still managed to stay on the road. These guys are pretty aggressive today, and there's way more contact than I like. I prefer to drive it a little bit cleaner, so not all of it is AI's fault. Obviously my driving is also playing the role. That's just, oh, that wasn't elegant at all. Right, apologies for that. I hope you kind of blinked at that moment and didn't really see how I reared that guy straight in the back, but the work is done. We are in the first place, and there's a series of slow corners coming up. Make sure you do them nice and easy. Don't try to force your way through. AI will be braking really heavily in them, so as long as you are staying on the road and avoiding the drift, you should be fine. Don't worry about them suddenly overtaking you. They might try to attack you, especially if you do something like this. I was very wide there, so definitely use your brakes. That's probably my advice. This Lambo is easy to drive. Don't choose overpowered rear wheel drive setups, because they will be difficult to drive unless you are comfortable with them, and then of course you don't need any of my advice. Here we are in the first place, under 2 minutes, and we only have one more race to go. The last race takes us to Horizon Callejera. I hope I read it right. I don't expect it to go any different to the first two races, but let's see. The only difference really is the road in the beginning is very narrow. As you can see, it can get quite busy in the beginning when you put 12 really fast cars on a narrow road and all of them try to... Ooh, okay, I sent those two flying out of the corner. That would be a very expensive crash if it happened for real, but yeah, they will survive. I hope you guys forgive my driving today. So now we just have the first two ahead to take care of. Just should be this corner. Yep. Off we go. Now in the first place comfortably. Really nice, and as I said, just make sure you drive the road and follow the track line more or less, and you should be fine. The tune by Predator is, as often happens, just dominant when it comes to AI in lower difficulties. So this is highly skilled, obviously, as all of the seasonal championships are, but I actually did the rehearsal on my usual expert setting and had no problems beating AI as well. So this setup is really fitting for races like this. And we are nearing the end. I can see the finish already, and yep, we are in the first place and the championship is finished, scoring us another 5 points on the festival playlist. I actually don't remember how many points, but yeah, getting us a little bit closer to the prize car. And I hope you enjoyed this. I really did driving it, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.